And that's the latest from Severe Weather Center 11.
Verizon employees throughout the Northeast will be going back to work tomorrow night. Verizon officials say the company and its unions have agreed on a process to move forward with negotiations. The 45,000 union members will work under the terms of the old contract that expired August 6th. This will be in effect until a new contract agreement is reached. Equal Access, the nation's largest cable and internet provider, wants to make sure everyone can surf the web. Comcast has unveiled a new plan called Internet Essentials, and they promise to help kids that can least afford it to stay connected. Target 11 consumer investigator Robin Taylor found out that many local kids will qualify for this plan.
24/7, I have to. It's without a computer, I'd have no life.
In this computer lab at the Greater Pittsburgh Urban League, students are working on animations for an upcoming project. But once the lab closes, the internet goes away for many students. Comcast, along with local and state lawmakers, announced a plan they say would keep more families connected at home. Pittsburgh City School Superintendent Linda Lane says the time is now for students to get online around the clock.
The game changer being the internet turned that device we called the computer from something that was just kind of a sophisticated typewriter into something that could connect us to the world.
So here's how the new plan will work. Families in the Pittsburgh area who have at least one child eligible for free lunch at school can get internet service from Comcast for $9.95 a month. Comcast Executive Vice President says there's no small print.
That's not a promotional price. We'll keep that price in effect for as long as you're eligible to participate in the program.
Comcast says the new plan begins next month. The company is teaming up with the Urban League, and their student volunteers are ready to train new users.
Without technology, there really is no future, and I just would love to see everybody get on board.
The least expensive internet plan with Comcast right now is about $48 a month. Families can also get a voucher for a laptop for $150. A mold problem means back to school will have to wait at the McGuffey School District. A recent inspection uncovered mold inside the middle and high school complex. School leaders say that inspection recommended the removal of insulation wrapped around pipes. A viewer sent us this picture from inside the school. Parents, though, say they've known about the problem for some time.
This problem has been here ever since the renovation, and it's just getting worse and worse. You can't band-aid something like this. It needs to be handled properly.
The district has moved the first day of class to September 6th. Crossing guards in another school district will have to go back to class. A training session was held for crossing guards in Shaler. One of the lessons included finding a gap in traffic that will help get children safely across the street.
Their main priority is to get kids to school and to home safely. Stop the traffic and make sure the kids have a safe place to cross.
The training is part of AAA's Schools Open campaign. A credit card company is using text messages to fight identity theft. The feature will be available on all cards issued by United Services Automobile Association. It will send a text message when there's an attempt to make a credit card purchase that appears to be suspicious. All USAA credit card users can sign up for the text message service right now. United Airlines passengers can expect a more comfortable ride by the end of the year. The airline is spending more than $500 million to improve seating on its planes. Other improvements include more overhead bin space to flatbed seats in first and business class. Officials say 38 planes will have the new features by December. Another 100 more will be finished by next April. A pesky problem is taking a sting out of what's left of summer vacation. Still ahead, what's being planned to rid this park of a wasp problem? The president may be away on vacation, but he's not getting away from everything going on in Washington. That's next. It's day 4 of President Obama's vacation on Martha's Vineyard. Cameras caught him today taking in a round of golf, and he spent some family time at the beach. White House aides are emphasizing that the president is still carrying out his duties even while on vacation. But even at his secluded summer retreat, he can't outrun politics. Brian Moore has that story from Washington.
President Obama seemed relaxed on Sunday as he got in a game of golf on Martha's Vineyard. far from the economic and political turmoil threatening his re-election.
He's worried about creating jobs for millions of Americans who've been out of work for 6 months or 2 years or longer.
His new jobs plan won't be announced until next month, but Republicans are already pushing back against a payroll tax cut extension. Translation, a Democrat wants to keep a tax cut, and Republicans are saying no.
The only thing that keeps us from acting on many of these things is pure politics.
Republicans are united in attacking the president.
The president has had a Democrat Congress for over 2/3 of the time that he's been in office.
But it looks like Texas Governor Rick Perry's free ride on the campaign trail is over.
I think when you find yourself at an extreme end of the Republican Party, you make yourself unelectable.
We're going to win Texas no matter who the nominee is. But we're going to have to win Pennsylvania and Ohio and Florida.
Washington may be on vacation, but no one's getting a break. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Pennsylvania's unemployment rate is on the rise for the second straight month. The State Department of Labor and Industry reports that the unemployment rate rose to 7.8% in July. That's a slight increase from June, when it was 7.6%. Despite the increase, 8,700 jobs were added last month. Pennsylvania's unemployment rate is still below the national average of just more than 9%. The federal government is pumping bailout money into the Pittsburgh area to make sure local unemployment checks don't bounce. Pennsylvania's trust funds that pay for insurance benefits are running dry, and we're not alone. About 30 states have asked the U.S. Labor Department for emergency loans to keep the checks printing. An Obama administration official says despite this emergency assistance, those who've already run out of benefits will remain cut off.
No one out there should anticipate that if they've exhausted their 99 weeks of benefits, that there will be anything new coming.
Pennsylvania is expected to borrow $200 million more from Washington next month just to help pay for September's unemployment checks. Wasp worries have shut down part of a local park. Several people have already been stung, and still officials are having a hard time getting rid of them. Channel 11's Jody Costanzo went to Bellevue Park to find out why it's such a problem at the pool's sandlot and volleyball court and what's being done to fix it.
The sandbox and volleyball court at Bellevue Memorial Park are typically crawling with kids. Not this summer.
It hurt a lot.
The area is crawling with sand wasps, and Josh Levine found out the painful way.
I'm like walking near the sandbox with my shoes off and I get stung.
Caution tape was put up a couple of weeks ago, keeping swimmers and park visitors from playing here. We checked with the borough manager, and he told me they're working to fix the problem. But the buzz about sand wasps is that they're tough to get rid of.
The bees bore in underneath the sand, and they make their nest there. So then the exterminator comes in and actually treats the sand itself.
The sand was treated last week, and I'm told the chemical is not harmful, that it's safe for kids to play here, except the wasps are still swarming about and hiding in the sand.
Last year it wasn't that bad, but this year it's really bad. Our summer camp would usually go over there and play volleyball or any games in the sandbox and stuff, so now it's closed, so we can't.
The wasps are putting a damper on summer fun at Bellevue Park. The playground is empty. Kids and parents afraid, so they stay away.
I hope they get the problem taken care of. It's not fun. The little kids get stung.
Since the first treatment didn't work, the borough tells me the exterminator is going to be back out here again tomorrow and will continue treating the wasps until they're gone. In Bellevue, Jodine Costanzo, Channel 11 News.
Pittsburgh City Police and community activists are taking a stand after what's been a violent week on city streets. Take a look at these faces. All were shot to death over the last 6 days. The youngest victim, just 14 years old. A number of others have been hurt in shootings. Pittsburgh police have addressed the growing violence across the city. Chief Nate Harper said they plan to increase patrols and close at least one house suspected of drug activity. He's also pleaded for help from residents to get these cases solved.
They have to get the information to us. They need to get the information to us to make their community safe.
It's just terrible. Like, people need to stop. They're getting killed for no reason.
Harper also reminded people that they can contact the department anonymously. A Homewood man is found guilty of third-degree murder after a shooting in Penn Hills. 20-year-old Samuel Rice was found guilty of shooting 38-year-old Stephen Mikowski of Verona. Police found Mikowski in a rental car outside his Penn Hills home on Kansas Avenue. Rice is scheduled to be sentenced on November 4th. He faces a maximum of 58 years in prison. A family fund has been set up to help a Homestead family who lost everything following a fire at their home. Terry Weaver woke up early Friday morning after a neighbor banged on his door telling him to get out. Weaver was able to get his 5 children and grandchild out of the home, but could not get to his wife, who has MS. Police officers from Homestead and Munhall raced into the burning home and helped carry her out. Donations to the Terry Weaver Fund are being accepted at any First Commonwealth Bank branch. An elderly man who went missing from a Wilkinsburg nursing home is found safe. Turns out he didn't get very far. This is a picture of 70-year-old Donald Engstrom. He was last seen at the Westwood nursing home around 2 this afternoon. He was found a few hours later, trapped inside the nursing home's elevator. The Dark Knight Rises is finally setting on the city of Pittsburgh. This is the last weekend of filming here in the city. Today also marked the final round of street closures. Filming has taken place in several spots over the last few weeks. Filming now moves to New York and Los Angeles. The Pirates look to make it 2 in a row over their division rivals. Plus more on why Terrell Pryor was in Pittsburgh meeting with the Steelers. That's next in sports. Going to the dogs, about 600 of them turned out for the annual Bark at the Park this morning, hosted by Animal Friends. North Park turned into a giant fiesta filled with games, food, and even activities for the owners. This event serves as one of the Animal Friends' biggest fundraisers.
These events are critical for Animal Friends. We rely solely on donations from pet lovers, so everyone who came out today is playing a big part in our success in caring for, sheltering, rescuing abused and abandoned pets.
Partygoers even had the chance to adopt a new furry friend into their family. Let's get one more check on the forecast. And Kevin, it looks like they got in all those activities before the rain moved in today.
Yeah, it wasn't continuous all-day rain, but there were hours when it was raining pretty good.
So it looks like some nice, comfortable, pleasant weather coming up.
So you got the memo, gray suit, red tie.
I did, yes.
Bill is my fashion icon.
Well, you are in big trouble, my friend, big trouble. Coming up next on the Black and Gold Zone on Fox 53, the Steelers and Terrell Pryor visit on the eve of the supplemental draft, and the Pirates sign one of their young stars to a long-term deal. The details are coming up next on the Black and Gold Zone on Fox 53.